Okay, good morning to all. So today's class, I am going to discuss about physical design. Okay, so in that physical design, we are going to be mainly discuss on floor planning, placement, and routing. Okay, so coming to physical design, so this is our physical design flow here generally. Okay, let us see here before going to this physical design circuit block diagram. So what is meant by physical design, right? So here, the physical design is the process of transforming a circuit description into the physical layout, right? So means here, whatever we have the circuit diagrams, those circuit diagrams are going to be placed in your layout. Okay. So the layout is going to be described the position of cells. The position of cells means the position of cells are nothing but the position of modules and routing means making the connection between the modules here, right? For the interconnection between the different modules, right? Here, basically, I want to say one thing here. The physical designing means simply transforming a circuit description into layout design, physical layout. So for that, the physical designing is to be going to be describing the position of layouts and routes between the interconnection of the modules. Basically, here the physical designing is having some complexity. Due to that, physical designing is going to be partitioning some parts here, right? Those are nothing but floor planning and placements and clocking the synthesis, signal routing, timing process, right? So let us see here. This is the block diagram. You know that basically we have an idea. So based on that idea, we are going to be designing a chip design process. Chip here. We're going to be designing one chip here. So before going to be chip, what we have to go into in front end. So those all those things here, nothing but the system specification. So here first, I want to suppose I want to design a half adder. So what are the input terminals and how many number of inputs and how many number of outputs are going to be required here for the implementation of half adder. Okay. Suppose here let us see one block diagram here. It is having these are the number of inputs and the number of outputs, and then architecture design. So you know that architecture design. So I want to represent for the implementation of for like it is a half adder. We are requiring one XOR gate and one AND gate, right? That is our architecture. And for that implementation, we are going to be design on that is write a code here. That is entity half adder and port variables, right? Input port variables and output port variables and architecture design. So in the architecture design, we have the number of components. Those are nothing but, for example, it is a half adder. There are AND gate and XOR gate. We have to write code for the. We have to write a code for AND gate and XOR gate also, and that is the functional verification. Okay, if it is going to be performed as a proper output response or not, that is a functional verification. That is the functional design and logic design, and then it is going to be circuit design, right? So this is the suppose it is a way of going to be connecting the circuit design here. So after completion of this circuit diagram, it is going to be transformed into the layout, right? And I told you the physical design is the process of transforming a circuit description into physical layout. Okay, which describes the position of cells and routes for the interconnection between the modules, right? So here, this is the way of physical designing here. So these block spots around this boundary, that is, these are called as the IO blocks. That is input output pads. IO blocks, nothing but input output pins. Those so block spots here, nothing but IO pads. So such IO pads are nothing but input pins, and those act as nothing but act as a input pins as well as output pins. And here I want to represent these are the modules here. This is one vertical module here. This is one square module here. It is a very small module here. So based on our requirement, based on what we are done, what we have the represent of the module, those modules are going to be represented in this way. Okay. But here, when we are going to be represent the physical designing in layout position, due to its complexity, I want to partitioning the physical design in various steps. So here, those are nothing but partitioning and floor planning and placement and clocking tree synthesis and routing and then physical verification. Okay, why I am going to be partitioning here? So because of to arrange in a proper way in our layout designing, we are going to be partitioning. So I want to I will show in the next slide how it is going to be partitioning, how it is going to be placed in a layout diagram in a proper way. Okay, and then floor planning. Floor planning, nothing but it is going to be it is the process of to represent the modules in a layout position, right? So here the macro cells have to be positioned on the layout space in such a manner, right? I want to show that slide also in next. I want to show the diagram also in next slides. Okay. So here, whatever the modules we are going to place in our layout diagram, so there we have to require enough space in between the module for the making a connection of between these modules. Okay, so here the input for floor planning means there is nothing but set of modules and list of interconnections. So this is the input for the module. List a set of modules means whatever we are going to be design here. So this regarding that circuit diagram, we need some modules to represent place in this particular floor plan. Okay, in layout. Okay, how it is going to be floor planning means just floor planning, just planning the floor. What are the modules we have, where we want to place, and where we want to place. Why? Because that is planning here. Why we are going to be planning means our aim is to reduce the area and reduce the length of the connections. Okay, so in that way we are going to be minimize our complete chip designing process, because we need to maintain our VLSI design technology parameters such as speed and area and cost, right? If these are affected, the system performance will be very less, right? That is the planning here regarding to this floor, right? And then after planning, I want to place. Okay, I want to place whatever the module we have here. Those modules are going to be placed in your floor planning. And then clocking, tree synthesis. Clocking means input signals and the power signals, and routing connections. We want to go making the connection between the modules. So there are some module routing techniques. There are global routing and detailed routing. Okay, and then physical verification. Whatever the parameters are going to be maintained, those parameters are available, or those parameters are overcome in this concept or not. That is the physical verification. Okay, so here these are the this is the basic physical design flow here. And after verification here, it is going to be layout for post processing and fabrication processing and packing, and then finally it is going to be testing. So finally we have this part of this type of chip designing process. It is IC, integrated circuit, right? But here only we are going to be discuss about this physical design here. So basically based on this physical design, we are going to be focused on floor planning, placement, and routing, right? So here due to this complexity, the physical design is normally broken into various steps. Okay, let us see here. This is actually our layout diagram here. These are the modules here. So these IO block spots here, block square blocks are nothing but it called as a IO blocks, right? IO blocks nothing but input output pins. Those blocks are acting as IO pin input pins and as well as output pins. And these are the modules here going to be placed in a layout diagram, right? So let us see here. There are the different shapes. Okay, but there is one thing here. We are going to be maintaining enough space between these different shapes of module. Why? Because we are making the connections. And one more thing you have to observe here, there is a horizontal tracking and vertical tracking, right? Only horizontal and vertical trackings are going to be making the connection between these modules. Means nothing but horizontal connection and vertical connections, right? So how we are going to be measuring here horizontal and vertical connection. Suppose let us see here. This is the vertical connection, right? And here one more thing here, it is going to be here. It is the horizontal connection, right? This is the way here going to be making the connection. This is generally it is a layout for a physical design, right? And the first point here, first the circuit diagram is to be partitioned to generate a sum up to 50 microcells, right? And here next thing is in the floor planning phase, the cells have to be placed on the layout surface, right? Here the cells Here the cells are nothing but modules. These are the cells here going to be placed in the layout on surface. Okay, and then the third point here it is, after placement, the global routing has to be done. In this step, the loose routes for the interconnections between the single modules are determined. So at the global routing, there is a loose connections. Okay, so due to that loose connections, we are facing one problem, that is nothing but area problem, and the length of the wire is going to be increases. The area is going to be increases, and the space is going to be increases, and length of the wire is going to be increases. Then automatically the system performance is going to be decreases, right? And the next one is detailed routing. So in the detailed routing, the exact routes for the interconnection wires in the channel between the macro cells have to be computed, right? So this is the basic information about our physical designing here, right? So now I'm going to be discuss about the floor planning. So this is a way of interpreting of floor planning here. So let us see, this is a diagram here. This is a RAM diagram and data path here and a standard cell here. Okay, and these blocks are nothing but these are the blocks we are going to be placing in our layout or in your floor here. Whatever the floor we are having, on the floor we are going to be placing nothing but floor plan. We have to plan here. We have to plan here to place whatever the model we are having. Those models are going to be placed here. That is, those are nothing but standard cell and RAM and data path. Right? These are the blocks we are going to be placed on our floor. That is floor plan placement. Right? And here these are the surrounded the boundary of these blue boxes are going to be act as a called it as a IO pads. Right? So why I'm saying here IO pads nothing but input pins and output pins. Both are going to be active. Those pins are act as well as inputs and output pins, right? And here this is the routing channels. So the yellow spaces here nothing but there is a space, required space to make the connection between the whatever the module we are going to be placed here. We have to make the connections, interconnection between the modules. Okay. Suppose I want to place here I want to make the connection here with this the RAM to data path. Suppose I want to make like this. Okay, and cell to like this. Okay, suppose I want to I want to make the connection here like this. Okay, so for that making the connection in between these modules, I want to maintain a required space in between these modules, right? So coming to these points here, floor planning. So here the floor planning means arrange the blocks of the net list on the chip. So here net list means the set of modules. So what are the set of modules and the list of interconnections? All those things are going to be placed on arranged on the chip here. Okay. And next thing is the floor planning is the process of a process of placing blocks on the chip area. So thereby determining the routing areas between them. Thereby determining the routing areas. So this is the yellow part, the yellow spaces are going to be give the direction as making the connections. Right? That is the routing areas, right, between them. So it determines the size of the die. The size of the die means the size of chip, and it creates a wire tracks for placement for standard cells. So that it determines that is nothing but the routing areas here. Whatever we are going to be here, let us see the yellow parts, yellow spaces here. So that determines the size of the chip here, and also it creates a wire tracks. It creates a wire tracks. Okay, so this is the one track here. So this is here horizontal tracks and the vertical tracks here, right? So it creates a wire tracks for placement of standard cell, right? And then next one is based on the area of the design and the hierarchy, a suitable floor plan is decided upon, right? So the hierarchy means nothing but top-down design methodology, how it is going to be placed in the layout, placed in the modules and layout diagram, right? And next one is it creates a power and ground connections and also find the IO blocks information. Okay. So this is the information about this floor planning here. So coming to the here, this is actually our circuit diagram here. This is our circuit diagram. I want to make this circuit diagram in a floor planning, floor planning and then placement. Okay. So here I want to partitioning this circuit diagram three module. This is the one module here. This is the second part here, and this is the third part here, right? So then it is our floor planning. This is our floor planning here. Okay, this is our floor planning, and then it is whatever we are going to what we have done in partitioning. That partitioning modules are going to be placed in this floor planning. That is the placement, right? This is the way of representing the modules in the. This is the one module here. This part is one module. The first module, second module, third module. We are going to be represented in this way. Generally, it is easy to make the connection between the module and to give the inputs and getting the output response from this particular layout. Okay, and here one point here, a good arrangement is should be meet the following consideration. Okay, whatever we are going to done here, so that is nothing but a good arrangement. When we are making the good arrangement, that good arrangement is going to be following some of the points here. That is nothing but minimize the total chip area, right? So we know that we want to maintain the chip designing process with very less area, right? And making the routing phases easily, right? So here we are going to be make routing phases very easily, right? So routing phases very easily means we have to maintain the routing connection like this. Suppose this is a very shortest path. This is very shortest path, right? And this is very shortest path. Okay. Suppose if you want to make the connection like this, so this is a very longest path. Okay. So very easily, we have to maintain the routing phases is very easy. How it is going to be making very shortest path in between whatever the modules we are placed in this particular chip area. And third point is it improves the performance by reducing the signal delays. Automatically, when we are going to be making the routing connection in easiest way, so then automatically the signal delays are reduces. So automatically, when we are going to be maintained, when we are going to arrange these parameters, automatically the system performance is going to be increases, improves. Okay. So automatically the cost of the system is decreases, the area of the system is going to be decreases, the delay performance is going to be decreases. So we are going to be maintain these parameters. Automatically the system performance is improves, right? And here the global goals, the goals of floor planning. So let us see here. This is the module A and module B and module C and module D and module E. So these are going to be chip planning. Okay. So here this, let us see here. This is the chip planning here. So how these modules are, where we are going to be, where we want to place in a floor plan area. Then automatically how we are going to be reduce the utilization area and how we are going to be utilize the shortest path for making the interconnections. So whatever the parameters are, we are going to be arranged in a proper way. Then only the system performance is going to be improves. So here let us see, this is the block A and then block B and then block C and block D and block E. So in this way, we are going to be planning to place the modules on the floor chip area, right? And these are the blocks here, IO pads. This is our required floor planning here. I want to place all those blocks in this particular chip area, and this is supply networks here. Okay, the supply network, ground supply networks and VDD supply networks. Okay, so here both the pins are nothing but called as acted as input pins and output pins are both in way, right? And let us come to this point here. Decide the location of the IO pads, right? And then location and number of power pads. Okay, and then types of power distribution and arrange the blocks on the chip, right? So decide the location of the IO pads. Decide the location of the IO pads means, suppose I want to make the connections here in this way, in this area. I want to given these pins are going to be connected as inputs, and here I want to take in these pins are going to be taken as output pins, like this. Suppose in the some other cases here, these are the in this side I want to given as the input powers, input signals, right? So, and here in some other case here I am going to be taking it as output pins, right? So these are the location of the IO pads, input pins and output pins, and then location and number of power pads. How many number of pads we are going to be taken in this particular floor plan, and type of power distribution. Okay, so type that is the. And next, arrange the blocks on the chip. So I want to arrange the block on the chip here to utilize the minimum area. So our aim is to optimize the area on the floor planning. Okay, so this is the goals of here. Floor plan is going to be maintained in our chip designing process. Okay, and next, slicing floor planning. Slicing means, so how we are going to be arranged. So let us see here. So these are the modules are going to be placed. How these modules are going to be on in a particular area. that will be maintaining by using, that will be processing by using slicing techniques. Okay, so here a floor plan with a property that is a composite cell and the subcells are obtained by horizontal and vertical bisection of the composite cells. Okay, and slicing floor plan is represented by a slicing tree, and this is nothing but a slicing tree. So this slicing tree is going to be represented in our floor plan. So here in the composite cell is either leaf cell or a composite cell, and a leaf cell is at the lowest level of the hierarchy. It does not contain any leaf cell. Okay, let us see here. This is the vertical. Okay, vertical line. Okay, so here, so this is a horizontal here. So horizontal means the block, the area of the here one, or the area 1 and 2 is going to be making a horizontal manner. So this is the horizontal pattern here, right? So horizontal connection. Okay, and here 1 and 3. So this is the 1 here, and this is the 3 here, right? So it is nothing but vertical connection. Okay, first let us see here. This is the vertical part here. This is the vertical line here. So this is the vertical line. Okay, in between these two, this is the one horizontal, this is another horizontal, this horizontal here. So vertical, this is a vertical place here. So in this vertical place, I want to represent one horizontal here, that is between 1 and 2, right? And then this 1 and 3 here in between vertical, right? It's a vertical here. And then 4 and 5. Let us see here, 4 and 5. 4 and 5 is a vertical, and 3 here, 3H and horizontal, right? So this is 3 and here 3 and H, nothing but H is with the vertical here. H is nothing, it is horizontal here with the vertical. 4 and 5 and vertical, and H is with the 6 and 7 is the vertical here. So this is the slicing tree. So vertical 6 and 7 blocks are going to be vertical connection here, and 4 and 5 also going to be vertical connection here. So in between these two vertical, there is a one horizontal line. This is the horizontal line here. So this horizontal here, this is horizontal here. 3 and 4 is nothing but horizontal. Okay, 3 and 4 and 3 and 5 and 4 and 6 and 5 and 7. These are going to be making it a horizontal pattern, right? So this is slicing tree is represented in a floor plan. This is the slicing floor plan, right? Let us go carefully observe here. This is how this slicing tree is placed in our floor plan. Okay, vertical line, horizontal line. 2 and 1 are modules are in a horizontal connection here. Okay, and 6 and 7 is vertical connection. 4 and 5 is vertical connection, and then vertical and vertical connection is nothing with the horizontal, right? And the horizontal with the horizontal here. This is the horizontal management. 3 and 4 with the horizontal. 3 and 5 with the horizontal. So 4 and 5 here nothing but this is a vertical connection. Vertical with the horizontal, that is 3 with the 3, right? This is a way of representing the slicing floor plan. Once again, how to go through this, right? Next, a floor planning is divided into 3 parts, such as one is block placement, right? Place blocks on the chip, and second point is global routing, assigning the routing channel between the blocks. Okay, so generally we know that the making the connections between the modules is nothing but horizontal tracking, the vertical tracking in between the channels. Okay, and then detailed routing here. A detailed routing, designing the layout for wires, right? These are the different parts of this floor planning, placing the blocking, block placement, and global routing and detailed routing, right? And coming to the placement here, I want to place. So the floor planning is okay, the planning for the floor is okay, and the modules or netlist is okay. Then I want to go to, then I want to I want to place the modules in the whatever the place, whatever the space we are having. On that we want to go to place those devices on the layout area. So here, let us the points here. We have designed a floor plan with a pre-placed block. Okay, and now we will move into detailed placement of the standard cell, right? And the placement nothing but it decides the location of the cells in the blocks. This okay. The placement nothing but it decides the location of the cells in the blocks. And then the placement is the stage of design flow. The placement is the stage of the design flow during which each instance give an exact location. Placement is the stage of design flow during which each instant is given an exact location, right? So that each instant nothing but at a standard cell, we are going to be given an exact location in floor planning design. Okay, and just does not place the standard cell available in the synthesized netlist. It also optimize the design. So based on that planning, we want to place the standard cell in the floor planning at exact location. Why we are going to be why we are going to be placed in exact location? But already we are pre-planned to place the modules in a particular floor area for the reducing the minimum area. So that way we are going to be placed. So nothing but it is also optimize the design, right? And next thing is by this placement process determine the routability of the design. So after placing the module, we want to make the connection. How we are going to be making the connection in between the modules in a vertical manner or a horizontal manner or a channel way and a switch box, right? Switch box part. Okay, and here main one thing here the placement is will be driven by different criteria like timing constraint and congestion driven and power optimization. Okay, Wh- when the timing constraint is going to be reduces, automatically the system performance is going to be increases. And then conjunction means here we are going to be place the standard cells or standard modules are in exact location. Then only we are going to be utilize the minimum area in the from the floor planning. Automatically the system is going to be reduced. The size of the system is going to be reduces. And then power optimization. So when we are going to be making the shortest path in between the module, then automatically the power optimization is going to be improves, right? So here the major parts of this input here this is the netlist here, the netlist of gates and wires. Here the inputs are nothing but netlist of gates and wires. First I want to place the gates here. Okay, that is a placement. Here gate the different types of gates I am going to be placing here. After placing these gates, I want to make the connection by using wires. Okay, and the second point here is the floor planning and technology constraint. The floor plan and a technology constraint nothing but what are the technologies that are going to be maintained. That is global floor planning. Okay, so in global floor planning we want to maintain some parameters, that is minimization of the area and the timing constraint and conventions like that we are going to be maintaining in a floor plan. Okay, and the outputs are nothing but all cells are located in the floor planning. So this is our floor planning here, all cells are going to be locating. Okay, and then we are going to be making the connection here between the modules. Okay, and here the goals of the placement nothing but meeting nothing but here I want to reach the following parameters here going to be maintained in a particular layout designing process. Nothing but that is nothing but area. So our aim is low area. Timing constraint, very less amount of time it is going to be performing the output response. And power optimization, within the less amount of power it is going to be performed. Next, less placement should be routable. Okay, after placement here, after placing the module in a particular chip or die area, we are going to be routable nothing but making the connection between the modules. And then enable detailed route of all nets. Okay, here I'm going to be making the connection and retail routing in between these modules, right? These are the inputs and outputs for the placements here, right? And coming to the here, after the placement here, let us see the diagram is going to be like this. So here, a poor placement requires a large area. Suppose I want to place the modules in a not in a proper way. I want to place whatever the modules are going to be one by one. I want to go to place in a particular areas. Then automatically the floor planning is nothing but it is a poor placement, right? There is no any method, there is no any techniques we are going to be not going to be follow. Then only automatically there is a huge complexity is going to be occur in a particular floor planning. So such a type of floor plan here I am saying it is a poor floor planning, nothing but it is a poor placement, right? So that poor placement requires a large area. Next one is also when it is happened, as a result in performance is going to be degradation, I think it reduces. the performance of the system, entire system is going to be reduces. So it is the process of arranging a set of modules on the layout surface. Okay. So here I want to arrange certain methods and certain techniques are going to be placed. What are the modules we have? Those modules are going to be placed in a layout surface, right? And then each module has a fixed space, and many have some pre-assigned modules. That is nothing but IO blocks. So here the IO blocks are going to be pre-assigned. So here the yellow marks are going to be placed showing here at the IO blocks. These are the pre-assigned. Okay, and dice and core and the standard cells and macros are going to be arranged in a arrange a set of modules on the layout surface by following the some of the techniques, right? So when we are making as a floor planning or placement is a poor way, automatically area is going to be excess area. It will increase the area, and also automatically the system performance is going to be reduces. Okay, when it is a poor placement. Here coming to the different wiring lengths. Okay, here I am going to be, this is our circuit diagram. This circuit diagram is going to be represented two ways here. Okay, here here 8 modules are there. The 8 modules are going to be represented in this way, and here there is a different connections. So here the connection wire length is 10 here, 10 wiring per tracks here, and here it is the 12 connections. So automatically the system performance is reduces here. Here the system performance is going to be increases. Why? Because very less number of tracks here, or very less number of wire length here. The system performance is going to be increases, but here the wire length is increases, then automatically the system performance is going to be decreases. So how it is 10, how it is going to be 12 here. Let us see here the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 modules here. 1 and 2 are given to the 5. Okay, let us see. This is the 1 and 2. Here I want to make the connection 1 to 5, 1 to 5 and 2 to 5, right? 1 to 5 here and 2 to 5. So this is the 1, okay, and this is 2. And next, then is the 3 connection. Okay? This is 3 connection. Next, 3 to 6, 3 to 6, 3 to 4 and 4 to 6. So this is the 4, and this is the 5 connection, right? And 4 to 6. This is a 4 directly 4 to 6. This is a sixth connection. And then 5 to 7. That is 5 to 7. So 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. This is the 7th connection. This is the 8th connection, right? And then 7 to and then 6 to 7. 6 to 7 is another case. This is the 9th case, right? And 7 to 8. Finally 7 to 8. This is the 10th wire. Okay, this is the wire length here. Suppose I want to arrange the blocks in this way. There is the wire length is 10. Okay, suppose let us see here 1 and 2, but in this case the side by side modules are 1 and 3. 2 is located here, 2 is located here, 1 is located here, 3 is located here. But here in this case 1, 2, 3 here. So in this way the wire length is 10, but here 1, 3, here 1, 2. So in this way the wire length is 12. So automatically we know that we understand that the wire length is increases, automatically the system performance is going to be decreases, the power consumption is also going to be increases because of the wire length is going to be increases, the power optimization factor is going to be affected, right? So finally the system performance is decreases, right? That is the way of placement and way of making the connections of the different modules. And coming to the routing connection here, so this is the let us see here, this is the partitioning diagram and this is the placement. After placement we are going to be making the connection. Let us here there is this module 1 and this is module 2 and this is the module 3, like this. Suppose I want to make the connection here. Let us see the module 1 and module 2 and module 3. I want to make the connection the shortest path in that way, right? This is the routing connection, right? And the physical connection are made by routing. It locates a set of wires in routing space to connect all nets in the netlist. Okay, to connect all nets in the netlist. And the main objective of routing is to minimize the total wire length. But in this case, the wire length is going to be increases. When the wire length is going to be increases, the power consumption is going to be increases. The area is going to be increases because of the utilization of the floor planning is poor here, because of I want we are here it is arrangement is different way in the two cases. Due to that, here wire length is 10 here, the wire length is 12 here. So in that way, the power optimization is going to be affected. Similar way here also, the main object of routing is minimize the total wire length. So to minimize the total wire length, automatically the power optimization process is going to be improves, right? And coming to here, the different types of routing connection, that is nothing but global routing connection and a detailed routing connection. It is the flow chart of this particular types of routing connection. This is global routing connection, a detailed routing connection. In the detailed routing connection, there is a two types of connection here, nothing but channel routing and a switch box routing. I want to show how it is, how the channel routing is going to be performed, and how the switch box routing is going to be performed here, right? And next one is in global routing, we wish to find approximate interconnection between the blocks. Approximate interconnections, right? Suppose let us see here. This is the block here, okay, and this is another block here, okay, and this is another block here. So I want to make the connection in between these blocks by using global routing. Suppose it is approximate connection like this. Suppose I am going to here like this, okay. Suppose I am going to like this approximate connection, okay. Okay, so let us see here. This is a loose contact, loose connection, okay. Loose connection means length of the wire is going to be increases, loose connection, right? Suppose in detailed routing, just I want to represent here one block here. This is another block here. This is another block here, right? So here another block here. I want to give the detailed routing, right? Like this, okay, and this is like this, okay. Exact wiring, but here there is some losing contact like this, okay. So this is the global routing and this is the detailed routing, okay. So in detailed routing, takes the output from global router and produce exact geometric layout of wires to connect the blocks, okay. Let us see the global routing and detailed routing in diagrammatic point of view, okay. This is let us see that it is the global routing and this is the detailed routing, right? Let us see here the global routing here. These are the blocks I placed in this particular floor plan chip die area. So here let us see here. This is the loose contact connection. Okay, this is a loose contact connection, right? Loose contact connection. Okay, so generate a loose route for each net. Assign a list of routing region to each net without specifying any actual layout of it. Without specifying the routing connection, I want to make a connection. That connection nothing but loose route, right? And coming to the detailed routing, I want to find the actual geometry of the layout of each net here, each module. Within the module, I want to assigning routing regions. But here, without specifying, without finding any specifying methods, we are making the connections without measuring, without assigning, without measuring any measurements. We are just trying to make the connection. Such a type of connections are going to be like loose connections. Okay, and next case is detailed routing. So suppose I want to make the connection. Suppose in between a module by module, side by side module, just I want to make the shortest path. I want to assign so a certain length of wire is needed to make the connection between these two modules in a particular way. That is the specification, assigned routing regions. So then only it is exact location, exact routing connections are going to be making in between these different modules, right? And here the channel routing, okay. So here already told you the impressed first slide that is yellowest path in the diagram. The yellow space are nothing but channels, okay. So here this is the gaps in between these modules. This is the channel, nothing but this is the channel here. This is the channel. This is the channels. So here I am going to be making the connection between the channels, right? So just in the but there is one advantage is here. I want to extend the connection between these channels through the channel in between the module. Suppose here this is the way of connection here. Suppose I want to make the connection, so just like this, okay. from this module to this one. Suppose I want to make a switch box here. Switch box here, just you have to make like this and like this. Okay. And one more switch. Suppose here I want to having one more switch box here. Just you have to make the connection like this and like this and like this. There is no extension point. Okay, there is an extension point like this. Suppose in channel routing, so this is the gap, the space in between the modules are nothing but channel. Just I want to make the connection from this module to this module through the channel. But in the case of switch box, there is no extension of the wiring from one module to another module. Just I want to just grill here one switch here. That is a connection point here. Just you have to make the connection through the channel. So like this. Okay. This is the switch box. Okay. This is the like a switch box here. The switching box. Just to give the connection the module. Right. So let us see the points here. The channel routing in this case, the routing is connected through the channel in horizontal and vertical manner, right? In horizontal and vertical manner. Whereas in a switch box, the routing is harder than the channel because we can't expand the switch box to make the room for more wires. Okay. So just here, I want to just give you from this box to suppose here the three connections, here the three connections, but in the case of switch box, only the one connection is there. Okay. So here, this is the one connection, this is the one connection, this is the one connection, this like. But in coming to this channel routing, you have to make one connection here, the other connection, this is the third connection. Like the different channels, different wiring connections are going to be making in this module to this channel. But coming to switch box, it is very harder. In channel routing, we can't expand a switch box to make rooms for more wires, right? So this is the way of channel routing for the routing connections.